Welcome to another episode of EnviroConnect Buzz. Here is where we discuss hot environmental topics. Today, your host, Shana Rayburn, and with me, I have Mr. Nahir Matos, consultant at the Department of the Environment. Thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you.
Today, we'll be talking about Kigali Amendment. But I know before that, there were several other things before this amendment. Could you tell us more about it?
Prior to that, the Montreal Protocol was signed. It was an agreement that was signed in 1987, which was an international treaty specifically in protecting the ozone layer. And this was done by attempting to phase out specific ozone depleting substances, right? And after that, agreement 28.2 was then agreed upon, which was to phase down EHFCs, and this is also known as the Kigali Amendment, right?
Okay.
And that's basically a brief summary of what the Montreal Protocol is and how it led to the Kigali Amendment.
And the Kigali got its name from?
It got its name from a city in Rwanda where the agreement was made, where all the countries met together and came to terms with this agreement.
Okay. When we come back, we'll have Ms. Cindy Cunil, Ozone Officer at the Department of the Environment, who will give us more information on the Kigali Amendment, its components, and what does it mean for the country of Belize. Welcome back. We're here with Ms. Cindy Cunil, Ozone Officer at the Department of the Environment. Thank you for coming, Cindy.
Thank you, Shana, for inviting me today. And I'm hoping that it will be a very good discussion and learning session for all.
Yes, and it will. And for sure, I know it won't be your last time here. Earlier, we were talking about amendments and about Kigali Amendment in particular. Can you tell us more what Kigali Amendment is?
Sure. The Kigali Amendment is part of the Montreal Protocol, which, as you all know, it's an international agreement that was made within many countries where it deals with the ozone depleting substances. Okay. And therefore, the Kigali Amendment is an additional part of the Montreal Protocol that deals with the phasing down of certain chemicals. Mm-hmm. And we'll discuss more what it is.
Yes. And from that, what is a phase down? Why not a phase out?
Good question. The phase down particularly means that these chemicals that are out there in the market will still be around, just that it will be in small quantities that will be able to consume.
Less of it.
Less of it. However, a phase out means that we are moving away from those chemicals where no longer will be available for consumers.
Okay, so a phase down. And we're doing phase down of what products are we talking about?
Right. The Kigali deals with chemicals that are going to be phased down, but they are refrigerants.
Refrigerants.
Yes, those are cooling agents that are used in your ACs, refrigerators, and other big industrial cooling refrigeration equipment.
Okay. Meat shops.
Exactly.
Okay.
But in particular, the Kigali will be doing a phase down of the hydrofluorocarbons.
Hydrofluorocarbons.
Yes. Or also short as HFCs.
Okay.
Now, the HFCs, they are a range of them, including those that are blends, which means that they are mixtures within themselves.
Okay.
Okay, so for example, I'll give you an example of an HFC.
Mm-hmm.
In your mobile, your whatever, it's a bus, your private vehicle, they use, when it's hot, of course, we turn on the AC.
Mm-hmm.
The gas that goes around the system and cools the system, it's an HFC.
Okay.
That HFC is called R134A.
Okay.
So that 134A will be in the list that we're going to eventually phase down.
Okay. So we're actually around these same products every day and we don't even know what they're called.
Yes, exactly.
So what is the Kigali enabling activities for the ratification of the Kigali Amendment project?
Good. That in particular is the project. It's the name of the project, Kigali Enabling Activities for the phase down of the HFC. Now,
Okay.
we recently started that project in last month in July, and it's going to be running for a total of 24 months, 2 years.
2 years.
Okay, so the project deals with preparing the country. We're going to prepare the country so that we phase down those chemicals. And so we need to understand what is the status of the country. Are we prepared to do this? Yes or no?
Okay.
And in order for us to be prepared, we need to fix or have our legislation ready in place.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And that is what are one of the activities in this
Okay.
in this project. Along with, we need to train the technicians, the same servicing technicians.
Okay.
They need to be trained and aware that we're moving away from these chemicals and we are going to be introducing new chemicals that will be more friendlier to use.
So better for the environment.
Yes.
Okay. So those are different components of the project.
Yes, actually, there are 4 major components within the project. The first one is the legislative aspect of it.
Okay.
So we need to have our standards. We need to have our legislation, regulations that speaks about the phasing down of these chemicals so that the people are aware that Belize is controlling the use of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one. The second one is developing a national strategy.
Okay.
And the strategy will deal with how are we going to approach this phase down? What are the different aspects? We need to also look at training several technicians so that they are, up to standard.
Okay, so technicians will be contacted.
Yes.
Okay, so viewers, if you're a technician, AC technician, so they will contact you. So you can play a part in this as well.
Definitely. And the third component deals with the technical capacities.
Okay.
So you're going to be training not only the technicians, but we're also looking at custom officers. We're also going to be training our team at the National Ozone Unit so that we are aware on how to tackle these difficulties if they arise and when they arise.
Right.
And finally, the final component is the public awareness.
Okay.
So, as you know, we need to make the public aware of what we are doing, of what the country is preparing for, and where we are heading to in the future.
Yes, and that's an important part because we do want to get persons involved and we do want persons to know what's happening out there, especially when it comes to things like this.
Yes.
Things that are going to be changing because, people are afraid of change.
Of course.
Right? And so them knowing and you telling them more definitely helps in that area. How do you see that this project will benefit the country? Besides, yes, we'll be doing these 4 components, but what else can persons or the country look forward to when it comes to the Kigali Amendment? Okay,
one very important aspect that I want to, share with this project and the ones that will be coming after is that HFC, they are not an ozone depleting substance, which means that they do not affect the ozone layer.
Okay.
But what is the bad side to it is that it is a powerful greenhouse gas.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay. So that means that when they are released into the atmosphere, they trap the heat for a very long time,
Mhm.
and they release it back. And the thing is that the lifespan of these chemicals runs for hundreds of years.
So they're out there for a very long time.
Exactly.
They're persistent out there.
Exactly.
Okay.
So they contribute to the climate change. So that is why the importance of this project is that Belize needs to contribute to fight and combat the climate change. And that is where we come in and play a role in it.
Okay, this is very good. It's very important for persons to know this as well. So we have a giveaway. I don't know if you want to say what the giveaway will be. You guys can look out for it. So Cindy, could you tell the viewers what her giveaway will be for this episode?
Okay. I don't know if you have done it, but I'm giving away 2 prizes. Okay.
All right.
The first prize is a T-shirt that we will be giving out, and you will see what the prize will be.
Okay.
It's a T-shirt that we recently designed. It will be reflecting the World Refrigeration Day, which, by the way, Shani, was in the 26th of June. We celebrate World Refrigeration Day.
26th of June. You celebrated it?
Yes,
Okay.
celebrated it. And then that's the first prize. The second prize is a gift certificate for servicing 1 AC unit. Okay, so it could be in an office if you win the prize, or if you choose to use it at home and you have an AC that you need to service. That will be your prize for answering one of these questions.
Okay, that's very good. So what we have here is for you to pick a question, but it's based on a color, right? So you will pick a color. I will ask the question. Our viewers will have the opportunity of answering this question under this episode, and of course win both prizes. So you could go ahead. Pick a pretty color.
Okay, let me see.
You can pick my favorite color too. Okay, the brown. All right. So the question is, what group of chemicals are being phased down? Remember, viewers, the question is, what group of chemicals are being phased down? So be the first one to comment the correct answer under this episode, and you get to win both prizes. Cindy, we'd like to thank you for coming on our show and, of course, giving the knowledge of the Kigali Amendment. When I first heard it, I had no idea what it was. So it's very good that we all, as one, get to know what it is. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you too for sharing and also for inviting me.